Just give yourself a couple of good energizing breaths. Deep inhales. Deep exhales. And as we're here, we'll take a moment to connect with our intention for this class. This intention is all about the opposing energies of grounding down versus stretching up, trying to find that fun contrast. In Yogilates, or rather just in strength in general, the way that we get stronger is by pushing one thing against the other. So that's an opposing force. So that's how we become stronger. That's why we have to have gravity in order for the muscles that we do have to work as well as they do. It's that something that we have to act against. And that's what helps, blood flow. It helps the muscles get stronger. It helps our body become in this top condition. And so think of in your own life, what might symbolically be those opposing forces, that grounding force versus the uplifting force. And how can we at any moment alternate between one and the other to find that perfect balance within where we ultimately become stronger, more balanced, more centered. And so with all these images, these ideas to lead us on, let's begin. We'll start to take the knees into the chest. We'll take a couple of nice, easy motions, rocking left and right with the hips. This is a chance for us to tune into that low part of our body, see how it feels. Continue to let the breath flow. That's so important as we're trying to work on getting stronger. Good. So from here, with both hands going around the right knee, start to clasp around that side, release the left leg all the way down to the ground, and feel that opposing force between pulling this right knee in and trying to keep that left knee grounded down. So left and right knees trying to find as much space away from each other as possible. Both very solid in where they're at. All these connection muscles and ligaments in between, finding more and more length. Beautiful. Let's start to switch to the other side. So left knee comes in, drop the right leg all the way down, and find that same type of opposing force. So pulling with the left, trying to ground the right leg solid down. If there's just a little bit more space that you can pull in with that left knee, take another good breath in and out. And then switch back to the right. Here's where we're going to start a continuous switch. So the left leg just hovers, find a good angle above the ground, and then switch back to the other side, going back and forth. I like to do a nice exhale each time the leg comes in. It's a nice, easy way to start building up some of the strength of the core, some of the strength of the legs. Taking another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right knee back in, give it another hug, drop the left leg back long, and then here we're going to let this right knee start to move over toward a twist. So move that knee over across the body. Sometimes as I'm heading there, there's a good spot I want to pause when it's about at a 45-degree angle. So that could be nice. If you want to continue to tilt it further toward a deeper twist, that's absolutely fine. It's up to you how deep to take it. But ultimately feel the contrast between this lower half of the body trying to aim to one direction and this upper half trying to peel open to the other direction. Good deep breaths flowing for us, inhales and exhales. And when the hip comes back down, extend the right leg long, left knee comes in, take it to that same twist. Press over the body, maybe you pause at the halfway point, or maybe you continue to ease it deeper and deeper, ultimately filling this upper body, contrasting the lower body. More inhale. And exhale, the hip works its way back to the ground. Keep this left knee bent in. It's similar to what we were doing before we had both hands supporting the knee that's in. This time, hands are behind the head, and we're twisting an opposite elbow toward that knee that's in. But once you've got the twist set up, float the other leg, and then exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. Including the obliques here. And once again, feeling that difference between the upper body and the lower body. Well, how this takes us right into our center. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rest the head down, plant the feet down. Here as we start to lift up the hips, let's take 5 cycles, rolling the vertebrae up one at a time, up into bridge pose. And exhale, roll all the way back down. Taking it up 4. And down. 3. Good. Try to keep the knees squeezing slightly in. 2. And this last one, we're going to stay. So lift up the hips. In order to get into the glutes here, what we're going to do is drop the glutes down just an inch or so and then lift it right back up, really high. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. If you ever need a break, that's okay. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the glutes down. Take the right ankle to left thigh. Pull it in for a nice hug. That'll stretch that glute area that we were just working. Switch out the ankles, hugging in around the right. And then as you switch back to the first ankle, let the left foot be on the ground. Left hand is behind the head. We're going to try to lift up that left elbow Even lifting up your shoulders as much as you can to try to touch that thigh and return back down. So taking it up to 9 and down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Switch out the legs. And right hand is behind the head. Take that right elbow up to left thigh. 10, 9, 8, feeling the upper body work. 7, 6, here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Let both feet rest about as wide as the mat and take a few windshield wipers. Both knees left. Both knees to the right. It's that nice, easy release. Beautiful. So let's take both legs back up to the sky. We're going to tuck our thumbs right under the hips. That helps keep the low back very solid on the ground. And so what we're going to do from here is drop the legs down and then raise them up. The big thing I'm looking for is you only lower to the point where the low back is still in connection with the ground, and then you come back up. The moment that low back wants to arch, that's when you know you've gone a little bit too far. It takes a lot of core strength to keep the low back down. You let it arch, so that's where you can start building pain in the low back. So we're trying to avoid that. Keep the breath flowing just like normal. Inhales and exhales. You're doing okay. Let's take 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Resting the feet back down. Here, let's take another little stretch. This is going to be a nice hip opener. So right ankle crosses really tightly over left ankle. Thighs come into the chest. If you can grab all the way down to the ankles, try to grab that far. If not, closer to the knees is fine. Good, release, and then recross the other way. Good, so as we release, take the knees back above each hip, and we're going to take some bicycles. So we'll start off really slow so we can feel the muscles continuing to work toward a long shape. Gradually, we'll pick up the speed. So right leg stretches up to the sky, bring it all the way up to the point where you feel the hamstring lengthening, and then drop that leg to hover right above ground. As the right knee starts to come in, left leg goes long. Make sure you bring it right into the stretch, and then drop it lower. Kind of alternate. Anytime a knee comes in, the other one is starting to circle up. Breath flowing just like normal. If you'd like to start increasing the speed of your bicycle so you can begin to circle out a bit faster. I'll count down another 10 to each. You can obviously take breaks if needed. That's always allowed in this class. So here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Drop the left leg all the way back to the ground. The right leg goes up to sky. Give it a nice hamstring stretch, trying to get that leg as straight as possible and gently tug it in. Good, release this right leg down, and then the left leg comes up, right into that hamstring stretch. Okay, so from here, straight leg switches. So both hands walk a little bit higher up the left leg, right leg hovers, and exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. If you want to increase difficulty, don't use the hands, let the hands hover. So it's your choice. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Drop the legs all the way long to the ground. Stretch the arms up overhead. And just pause for a moment. This is a nice space because it makes the low back arch, which while we're exercising isn't good, but while we're stretching, that little low back arch helps the core to get a little longer. Feel a couple of good breaths flowing through your lungs. Okay, finding a couple of exercises here where upper body and lower body have to work equally. This next one is pretty difficult, so I'll give you a variation that's a bit easier if it's too much. What we're doing is, if we're doing the full thing, is a full teaser. So at the same time that the arms come up, the legs come up, we pike up into a 90-degree angle boat pose. Then we roll all the way back down. So that's that harder option. If that's a little bit too much, you're gonna go back to where we were before, working on the legs, dropping down and up. That's a similar motion, just a bit easier because you can control how far down you go. Okay, so either way, let's take our prep pose, our shape. Inhale, prep. Exhale, let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Rest back down for a few breaths. Even sliding the feet into plant. We can let the knees do some nice windshield wipers. So this is exploring between internal and external rotation of the thighs. Go at a speed that feels good for your hips and your thigh muscles right now. Beautiful. And when that feels pretty set, we're back to a good space. Let's take both legs up to the sky. Arms again, start up overhead. With a nice exhale, both arms try to touch the outer right side. And then both arms up to the outer left side next time. Switching back and forth. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, halfway there, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. A hand on each knee. Do some nice, easy knee circles. Dropping the feet to the floor. Have the hands pick up the head. Lift the head up into a nice, easy neck stretch. So head is trying to be heavy, dropping back to the hands. The hands gently use their strength to lift that chin up to the chest. Sometimes little teeny bits of rocking left and right can feel really helpful. Other days I just know to stay right there in the center with my hand. Okay, when head drops back down, slide the arms and legs back up to their long shape. This next version, again, I'll give you two options. First option, the harder one first. First, we take the upper body up and over, and then roll back down. And then as the hands plant, we take the lower body up and over, and then roll back down. So if that's a little bit too much today, what you'll do instead is have the knees bent. So this will make it, the first part is a good crunch, trying to get as much, as high as possible, and then you'll crunch the knees in, trying to get as high as possible. Okay, so whichever you feel like you can do today, knees bent or arms and legs straight, take that position and inhale, press. Exhale, roll up. Inhale down. Exhale about the legs. Inhale down. Let's repeat. 4. And 3. Going to aim for 2. Last one. Good, and then we'll all come up to a seated place. Let's allow upper body just to relax over those straight legs. If it feels like the hips are pulling you back, knees can be a bit bent. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll still be in a good stretch. So if you need to go fewer than that's okay. Let's try to go for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips down directly into boat pose. So arms are out in front. From here, inhale, arms float up. Exhale, touch down to one side. The knees can tilt away from your twist. Inhale up. Exhale, second side. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And into cobbler's pose. Let those hips open. If hands behind feels best today, that's great. Otherwise, feel free to absolutely tilt forward. Work rising up. Take it to just an easy seated position. Arms are out to each side, thumbs up. We're going to pump the thumbs up and down 10 times. Going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumbs down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumbs forward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumbs back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right elbow under the left elbow, eagle's arms. What I want you to do when you find the shape is get into a good stretch, whatever that is. So sometimes people will bring the elbows in and round forward. That gets the shoulders nicely. Sometimes people will do the opposite, shoulders down, elbows up. A twist left and right could be good. Just any kind of free form or stillness, whatever feels helpful for these shoulders. Give it time, give it space, send some good breathing into this area. Then letting the arms open out wide. Good. Second side, left elbow under. And then set up this one, and whatever you need to do, twisting up, down, anything at all that feels helpful. Head tilting. Okay, so rising up. Legs extend out in front of us again. Getting back into the shoulders. What we do here is start off at a nice tall spot. We engage the core, tilting back to the point where we still have control, and then rise up, and then arms up and down. So exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. One more of those sets of tricep dips. So feet front in, hands are behind, lift up the hips, elbows bend and straighten. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as the glutes settle back down, flip the hands to point backwards. And we're walking back into a nice shoulder opener. So note that if your chest is collapsing, that's a little too far. We do want the spine straight. We're walking back to the point where we can feel a good stretch in the shoulders. If you need more, pinkies closer does increase it. Okay, walking the hands back in. Let's swing our legs around. We're coming to kneel. So getting into that glute, right leg extends out long. We're gonna lift the heel up as high as we can and then drop it down. So going for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop down. Second leg slides out. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Trying to go for push-ups, whether you need to be on your knees or in a full plank, it's up to you. Going to count for 10. So going down, breathe. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to that normal kneeling position. So this time, right foot swings up above the knee. We're gonna pump that foot up and down a couple of inches. We're gonna go for 25 of these. If you need to stop early, that's okay. Going for 25. 4, 3, 2, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. Up. Let's take 25. 4, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down. Take it to plank or kneeling plank again. Coming back forward. With this one, we drop the right elbow down, then the left elbow. Plant the right hand, plant the left hand. Switch it out, so left elbow, right elbow. Left hand, right hand. We'll go 2 more rounds. Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, and right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right. Hold. Let's take a child pose for a moment. I think that's a good spot for it. Rock back for just a moment, feel your back muscles stretch. We're getting almost through with all the hard stuff, and then we'll wrap up with some good stretches, so just a couple of bonus things left. Give a moment for your breath to slow. Okay, Spider-Man. What we're gonna do, come up to that plank position. This can also be done from kneeling. You'll get that workout just by bringing it in and in. So if you're doing it from plank, you start back here. Right knee to the shoulder, left knee to the shoulder. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower to the belly. Swimmers. So arms are forward. When the right arm lifts, the left leg lifts. And that side lowers, opposite. So left arm, right leg. Good. So when you kind of get the rhythm going, you can either just continue at this pace, opposites going at the same time, or you can increase the pace, making it a fast swimming. You can always alternate back and forth, taking a few rounds of each. Keep the breath flowing. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift back, child pose. A few good breaths. Take it up to downward facing dog for a moment, helping us transition. Give the legs a couple of movements. We'll float the right leg up to the sky for a moment, and then step right foot in between hands. We're trying to stay balancing on the back toes, so if the balance is precarious, you can bring the stance wider. Otherwise, if you absolutely have to bring the heel down, that's fine. So let's float the arms up for a moment. As the arms open out to each side, what we're going to do first is the lower body. So that back knee lowers down and up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then back heel can rest down, 2 straight legs. Let's do some arm circles. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go into pyramid pose. So you choose, maybe arms go down to the shin or to the floor. Maybe you're grabbing elbows behind your back or a prayer position flip. It's whatever you like. Choose your variation. We've only got one more side of that to do, and then we're done. So this is where we can start helping the body know we're heading toward the finale. Just good stretches now that our body's warm. So here we're going to prepare to switch legs. You can either go through down dog or just come up to stand and then switch the position of your legs. So up to you. Either way, we end up with left forward. Try to stay on the toes if you can find that balance. Wider is easier. Floating up for a moment. Open arms out left and right. Bending that back knee down and up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back heel down, 2 easy legs. Last set of arm circles. Trying to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And choose your pyramid. Good work. We made it. We did so much good stuff. Just breathe here for a moment. I think I'll go ahead and put this down on the piece. Scooting the back leg back until you can drop that knee down. The front hip sinks forward. Just make sure the knee doesn't go past the toes. The goal here is to fill lots of space on the front of the right hip. There was lots of that leg lifting that we did. That was a big muscle group that's in charge of that. So if hands on the ground gets you into that stretch, that's fine. If you need to walk hands up to the thigh to feel it, that does increase the angle. Yep, lizard pose is also beautiful. Whatever helps you feel that beautiful stretch. Let's shift that front leg straight. Drop hands back down. Nice half splits. Let's start to switch the legs out. The first part is hip sinking forward into the lunge. So you choose exactly the arrangement that helps you feel that sensation. Left hip this time. Nice straight leg stretch. So shifting the hips back, leg is straight, drop down. As this leg starts to aim its way back, we're in plank or kneeling plank. Let's lower down to the belly. We'll take the right arm straight out to the right. I like to have the middle finger about level with the eye, so it's slightly higher maybe than you would normally put it. And then right cheek is on the ground, so you're looking away from that arm. Press into the left hand until you start to feel that right shoulder opening. So sometimes the top leg rotates to plant behind, sometimes it's the hip stacking, it's all up to you. Let's get into that right shoulder stretch nice and easy. We'll start to switch, so hips go down, left leg, left arm out, left cheek down. Press into the right hand until you feel that nice left shoulder stretch. Good, dropping hips down. Walk the elbows under the shoulders. As you have your hands planted, drag the hands back without actually letting them move. So instead, the belly gets pulled forward. Rectus abdominis, pulled nice and long. Left hand swivels in. Right hand grabs the right foot. Pull it in for a nice quad stretch. Release. Switch it out, grabbing left. Release. The right hand goes in front of the left hand, arms parallel to the top of the mat. And then walk the hands off of each side so the elbows go past the midline. From here, I don't want to gag myself, so I'll tuck my chin in and then I'll rest that chin on the upper arm. You should be feeling shoulder blades creating space right in between that area. If you're not quite into that stretch, bump the elbows forward another inch and that'll usually get you right into it. Walk it in, switch it out. So when we're there, left will be in front. Ease your way back into it. Good, and as we start to return out of this one, this starts our journey toward our Shavasana. So some of us might want a child pose. Maybe some of us want a nice wide angle seated pose. It's just any last stretches your body might be craving until you feel ready for your Shavasana, that final relaxation, sooner or later. No rush to get there. You're taking all the time you need. But just listen to your body. Listen to what else it needs. No rush to get to Shavasana. Some of us might get there sooner, some of us later. It's absolutely fine. Take as much time as you need. When you do get there, just let your breath flow. Imagining that breath is supercharging and energizing your system, and of creating that balance between that upper energy and that lower energy. Balance right in the center. Here we're going to begin our gradual journey back up and out. Just start off with your breath. A couple of really good cycles of breath flowing in and out. Perhaps there's little movements we start to return to the body. Maybe fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. You're on the ground, perhaps you take a nice fetal position off to one side. Enjoying a few bonus breaths until you feel ready to rise, sooner or later. With hands at the heart, we allow ourselves to return back to that idea of balancing the upper and the lower. Perhaps one way to think of this is balancing the heaven with the hell. Life has times, days that feel like one or the other. But here we can find ourselves present and center, right there in the middle. Right there with our breath, with this very moment that's passing on, with this beautiful earth we have all around us. So with this kind of balance, bringing us right here in the center, this balance to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.